There are 10 active former North Carolina players in the NBA. 4 are full-time starters while 5 others play more backup and reserve roles. Henson is still recovering from a wrist injury. He was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers after 14 games with the Milwaukee Bucks this season. 4 UNC players are in the G League. Rookie Theo Pinson has been called up for 7 games with the Brooklyn Nets while putting up big numbers for the Long Island G League team. The majority of the Carolina players in the league are from the Roy Williams era, but Vince Carter is still playing, and he is not only the oldest Tar Heel in the league, he is the oldest overall player in the entire NBA. While there is a lack of star NBA players who went to UNC, many Tar Heels do still play key roles on many teams' roster. From Danny Green to Raymond Felton to Reggie Bullock and Ed Davis, scroll down to see how former UNC players are doing in the NBA as of January 14th. Harrison Barnes has played and started in 39 games for the Dallas Mavericks this season and is averaging 32.2 minutes per game. Dallas is 20-23 so far this year, good for 3rd in Western Conference's Southwest Division. Points per game, 18.2 rebounds per game, 4.2 assists per game, 1.1 field goal shooting, 41.8% three-point shooting, 41.2%. Danny Green in his first season with Toronto after 8 seasons with the San Antonio Spurs. Danny Green was traded to the Toronto Raptors. He has started and played in 43 games for the Raptors this season and is averaging 29.6 minutes per contest. Toronto is 33-12 so far and ranked 1st in the Eastern Conference's Atlantic Division. Points per game, 9.6 rebounds per game, 4.2 assists per game, 1.3 field goal shooting, 43.7% three-point shooting, 41.0%. Piston guard Reggie Bullock in his 4th season with Detroit. Bullock has played and started in 33 games for the 18-23 Pistons, who are 3rd in the Eastern Conference's Central Division. The Kingston, NC native is averaging 30.5 points per game. Points per game, 12.2 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists per game, 2.4 field goal shooting, 41.4% three-point shooting, 39.6%. Now in his 5th season with the Charlotte Hornets, Williams has started and played in 41 games for the franchise this season. The Hornets are 19-23 so far this season and 2nd in the Eastern Conference's Southeast Division. Williams is averaging 27.5 minutes per game. Points per game, 10.0 rebounds per game, 5.7 assists per game, 1.1 field goal shooting, 41.9% three-point shooting, 38.0%. Second-year Kings wing Justin Jackson was selected No. 15 overall by the Sacramento Kings in the 2017 NBA Draft after an All-American and national championship winning career. In the 2018-19 season, Jackson has played in 42 games and started 3. He is averaging 21.9 minutes per game for the 22-21 Kings. Points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, 3.0 assists per game, 1.4 field goal shooting, 43.8% three-point shooting, 36.8%. Miami Heat shooting guard Wayne Ellington. After bouncing around the league with 1-year contracts, Ellington has found stability with the Miami Heat, his home for the last 3 seasons. Ellington has started 10 games, played in 20, and is averaging 22.7 minutes per contest for the Heat, who are 21-20 and ranked 1st in the Southeast Division of the Eastern Conference. Points per game, 8.3 rebounds per game, 2.1 assists per game, 1.4 field goal shooting, 35.8% three-point shooting, 36.5%. Brooklyn's Ed Davis. After 3 seasons with the Portland Trail Blazers, Ed Davis signed on with the Brooklyn Nets for the 2018-19 season. He has played in 40 games with 1 start so far for the Nets, who are 21-23 and 4th in the Eastern Conference's Atlantic Division. Davis is averaging 18.3 minutes per game, points per game, 5.9 rebounds per game, 8.6 assists per game, 0.7 field goal shooting, 61.9%. NBA veteran Raymond Felton, the 2nd oldest UNC player currently in the NBA. Raymond Felton is back with Oklahoma City this season. In a backup point guard role, Felton has only played in 15 games for Thunder this year. He is averaging 11.1 minutes per game. Points per game, 4.7 rebounds per game, 1.4 assists per game, 1.8 field goal shooting, 36.8% three-point shooting, 20.0%. Vince Carter at age 43. Vince Carter is in his 21st season in the NBA. The veteran has played in 40 games for the Atlanta Hawks in 2018-19 and started 8 contests. The Hawks are 13-30 and in 5th place in the Eastern Conference's Southeast Division. Carter is averaging 17.2 minutes per game. Points per game, 6.9 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists per game, 1.0 field goal shooting, 40.0% three-point shooting, 36.8%. John Henson is still recovering from an injury after being traded to Cleveland after 14 games. Henson was traded early in the season from the Milwaukee Bucks to the Cleveland Cavaliers. He is still recovering from a wrist injury and is not expected to return to action until February. Here are Henson's stats with the Bucks over 14 games: 13.4 minutes per game, points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game, 5.1 assists per game, 1.0 field goal shooting, 46.3% three-point shooting, 35.5%. Joel Berry 2, Los Angeles Lakers Tony Bradley, Utah Isaiah Hicks, New York Theo Pinson, Brooklyn Nets two-way player Theo Pinson. Pinson has blown up in the G League, putting up big numbers and knocking down a lot of threes. He has also appeared in 7 NBA games with the Brooklyn Nets. In those 7 games with the Nets, Pinson has averaged 10.3 minutes, 2.7 points, 1.4 rebounds, and 1.7 assists while shooting 35.0% from the field and 9.1% from 3. Pinson has done most of his damage with the Long Island Nets. He has started and played in 19 games for Long Island and is averaging 35.2 minutes. His numbers with the Long Island Nets: points per game, 19.9 rebounds per game, 5.6 assists per game, 6.7 field goal shooting, 46.1% three-point shooting, 39.0%. Isaiah Hicks with the Westchester Knicks. Hicks has played and started in 19 games for the Westchester Knicks of the G League. He is averaging 29.2 minutes per game. Signed to a two-way deal, Hicks has not been called up to New York so far this season. Points per game, 16.1 rebounds per game, 7.8 assists per game, 2.3 field goal shooting, 49.4% three-point shooting, 23.5%. Tony Bradley with the Salt Lake City Stars. Now in his 2nd season out of UNC, Bradley has played in 1 game so far for the Jazz in 2018-19. In that game he played 9.0 minutes and grabbed 3 rebounds. He has spent the overwhelming majority of his career in the 2018-19 season with the Salt Lake Stars. With the Stars, Bradley has played and started in 17 games. He is averaging 26.5 minutes per game. Points per game, 13.6 rebounds per game, 7.6 assists per game, 1.2 field goal shooting, 57.0% three-point shooting, 27.3%. Joel Berry with the South Bay Lakers. After being named 2017 Final Four Most Outstanding Player and earning 2018 First Team All-ACC honors, Berry has spent the entire 2018-19 season with the Los Angeles Lakers G League team, the South Bay Lakers. He has played in 17 games and started 2. Berry is averaging 21.8 minutes per game. Points per game, 11.9 rebounds per game, 1.1 assists per game, 2.3 field goal shooting, 39.0% three-point shooting, 28.4%. Marcus Ginyard, Romania Will Graves, Israel Tyler Hansbrough, China Desmond Hubert, Sweden Joel James, Japan Justin Knox, Italy Ty Lawson, China James Michael McAdoo, Itala Marcus Page, Serbia Ishan Terry, Puerto Rico Dean Thompson, Spain P. Toto, Israel Justin Watts, Lithuania Jawad Williams, Japan